I haven't done jack shit with my YouTube channel for quite some time. I think a good amount of that reason is I just never really put together what do I want to do. And that doesn't mean that a creator should necessarily go in a generic fashion, you know. I'm not saying that my contemplation is whether or not it be a gaming channel or some sort of commentary channel, because one of my best friends, Mr. Roxas, really helped explain, hey, you know what, just do yourself. Do whatever at that particular moment your piece of content wants to be, because it's better to be versatile overall unless you're really passionate about a particular thing. But I just haven't been passionate about YouTube more because I don't know how exactly what I'm saying or what I'm doing is going to be entertaining or purposeful for an audience. So I just stuck to the main reason why my hiatus on YouTube has been larger. It's because of sports and because of just sort of focusing on that more, especially from a desperate rookie perspective, where I suck ass at what I do, but that doesn't mean that I don't show an amount of potential. It's more not starting when I should have, to where I wouldn't have that same experience, going to where now I'm out of high school and I have more time to do this and many other things. So I just wanted to get into the topic of playing football and wrestling, and I'll start with football since that happened first, with really the whole COVID situation making it confusing where we were going to play in the spring and we were going to push it and move it around, but that was whatever. Just sort of sucked that I didn't get the summer camp experience to help get through that shit. But regardless, even with that, football itself is an incredible game where you don't have to be good at everything. And it's not emphasizing being good at everything, even though you should know every position and you should know how the whole game fits together, whatever position or whatever involvement you have into the sport. But at the same time, when it comes to your position, you just need to know, hey, do I know how to be a running back? Do I know how to be a wide receiver? Do I know how to be a DB? Because that's what I was. At best was a defensive back. And that was pretty fun. It was really damn fun. And I just feel really regretful of not taking the opportunity to join that sport earlier. And really that was just a self-confidence issue. And really just motivated by feeling the inability to be an athlete. But besides that, then I only got one play, like one or two genuine game field plays, but that's fine. Is what it is. Regardless, I mean, missed a tackle, but that's not a huge deal. But hopefully, like my message to you guys is just, you know, don't end up in my situation where you're just a rookie in a much bigger field. And even if you do, that's not a bad thing. It's just, I prefer you not to. Or you should prefer yourself not to. But that should not deter you. And then with wrestling, I did not win. Well, I won a junior varsity match or an expedition, but after that, for the first win of the season, the only win of the season, and then just sort of bombing out, really emotionally more than on the mat, which I feel like destroyed the potential, or at least like just stuck that potential out, because I didn't know how to handle losing anymore all of a sudden, where I was so used to being rookie that I just felt like this, oh, it's my year, it's a good one. But really that was just entitlement. That was just when you think you deserve, but really you don't deserve shit. I mean, from a human rights perspective, yeah, you deserve some things, but from an athlete perspective, you deserve to get your ass beaten because you've done nothing. And so that really just, hold up. Anyway, regardless, the only other part of it I really should mention in terms of what I would say, you know what, wrestling is a sport where it's really low cut, where you can have just a little bit of experience and then get onto a not as experience-based team, and you can have some opportunities. There's been many underdogs who have overcome incredible odds and beaten some of the greatest, even though they were not projected to win. They were not destined to be in there by pieces of paper or statistics, but they ended up there because they affirmed the victories that they received. They desired it, but more importantly, they won it the right time. When it really comes down to it, on the practice mat, yeah, you don't want to lose, but at the same time, that the practice mat is where you're supposed to, if you're going to lose at any point, then you're probably going to lose there. The bottom line, or you're supposed to fail in the practice room. But when you're on the mat, you're supposed to be perfect. You're supposed to be the closest thing to perfect that you have. And that was my problem, is I just didn't initiate it quickly enough. I just didn't affirm what I had and take the action, the aggressive action, even reckless action, because even the reckless, aggressive action sometimes can reward you far more than not knowing how to take something, and therefore you don't take an opportunity, whether or not it's good or not. And that was my problem, is I was looking for perfect opportunities when I should have been looking to find a spot where I could scramble out of, instead of just have a perfect shot and have a perfect perspective offensively, because that's not the point. It was actually quite ironic how my record, for that season, so it was shortened, so it's the only way it could have happened, but essentially my birthday numbers appear in a lot of things, and I found it quite ironic how my record by the end was 4-19. A little bit different, but my birthday numbers are 4-16, yet my record is 4-19. And those were not 4 victories. Those were all because somebody wasn't there. And I'm going to college and going to wrestle again, and hopefully this time not be such a suck-up. And I also found it ironic when I can't put in this video, and you can call bullshit on it, but I downright have photographic evidence of just looking up and seeing at the basketball court, the numbers that they have, because it's on the basketball court. day when my record became 419, I just see 41.66, blah blah blah. It's like, was I destined to fail and just be lucky by having some sort of grandiose spectacle? And that's too cynical, but it's ironic. Regardless, take for what you will. And if anything, I just, again, I highly recommend that people join sport of wrestling, football. I think it's just a beautiful pastime where, yes, you do lose career opportunities in terms of, you know, how often you can go to work, but just getting the shit beat out of you is so rewarding. Even though I myself am cowardly and lazy for doing that, but it's too rewarding to give up, and too much of what my life stands for right now. So I hope y'all individuals have a great one, and reconsider whether or not you should be an athlete.